Hi everyone, can you see me here? I had to change over to a different link. It was not allowing me to do it when I schedule it. Anyway, I hope y'all can find me here. We're going to be doing a live Mythical Goddess Tarot reading on all the events taking place right now. And I can't see if you are joining me, so I'm going to try and find out. That'll let me see you now. All right, I can see that some of you are joining me. It's a different look than last time I was here. So I am going to be loving you up with Mythical Goddess Tarot. You know, we've gone through a lot already with the coronavirus around the world, and a lot of death, a lot of fear, a lot of new ways that we are trying to figure out how to navigate our lives, from having to shelter at home to see if we can learn to be virtual in the way we make a living or the way we show up. Hi, everyone. I'm seeing you there. Awesome. Glad you found me. Yay. Anyway, I've been really meditating a lot and going with the goddess, and whatever she says today, I know it's going to be perfect along with everything else I've been getting. And this thing about returning to love, we're being detoxed right now in the biggest ways. Our egos, our attitudes, the fears that we've held generationally, let alone individually, they're all up to be cleaned. And I'm just going to honor all of you that we're going to get all the guidance we need today that is going to support you personally in knowing how to navigate every day, every moment with as much patience and compassion and love for yourselves as possible. It is up. It is requiring us to raise our vibration as much as possible through dedication and commitment to say a prayer every day, to bless ourselves and everyone else every day, and to come together in knowing that we not only will be given solutions through our actions, but that we are going to find a better way. So I'm going to throw a 15-card Mythical Goddess Tarot spread. And I've asked, what do we need to know most? If you have specific questions, I'll see if I can catch them on the feed here and bring them back to you to support you. Let's go through the entire, let's make sure my sound is up. There we go. Let's go through the entire card spread, and then once I get to the end, let's see if there's specific things that were not addressed that we can address. I'm happy to see what I can do to do that. All right. In a 15-card spread, at the very center of the spread is who we are in response to what's going on right now, who we are asking this question, what do I do? How do I show up? How's this going? Where are we going? And spiritually, what is this about that can help me with my own life in all the ways I choose? So, very interesting. Well, right at the center of who we are in regards to the situation, weirdly, you will think, why in the world do we have the Ace Ecstasy, which is a card that represents emotional ecstasy, pleasure, joy. And that's who we really are. So I've been asking from a soul level, what is this is about, not just how to navigate as human, because human's not going to get us as far as we hope unless we connect to our soul and our essence and our purpose for going through this experience right now. And what is most beneficial for you in everyday activity is to find a way you can find pleasure in your heart. How do you return to love? How do you return to the essence of your true being that actually chose to be here right now in this experience from a soul level to your human life? That there is something you are here to expand in your heart, in your soul, and in the way you relate emotionally. It says, turn off the news, go into meditation, find ways that you can actually connect to the beauty that is available through our emotional body and how that connects to your heart and soul self. It'll help you know how to navigate. It'll help you know how to take the next step. It will guide you. She's turned inward, looking into the center of her true soul self if you look at this image. She's also an ace of the seas, or the emotional part of the deck that we're talking to in our human flow, our human lives. And that aces mean that we have gifts. We have gifts from the angels. We're being supported to go to a deeper level now, where we find beauty and pleasure through our emotional, our feeling senses, and our capacity as soul to express through love. So that's our foundation as we look at this right now. The other piece is that we do have the Crone of Fire here. So we've got a wisdom card that is about going through the fire. Yes, everything is coming apart at the seams in so many ways of the what I call the ordinary reality, the things that are linear. Things are breaking apart, the patterns that no longer serve us. And at the very core of our beings, we're here to rise from the ashes. This is one of our superpowers. Our heart is our superpower. Our inner self that is connected to our soul is our superpower. And the capacity to use fire to burn through fear and trauma and the things that separate us. So expect that one of your soul's callings right now is to lift you through fear, to burn it away. I did a reading the other day that had fire medicine all through it for days. And it's telling us we need to offer our fear to the fire. We need to offer the things that do not work for us to the fire so we can be purified right now. And that is what is happening. And yes, our foundation is to rise above it all and to actually be more illuminated, to be wiser and to know who we are. And then we create our world from there. And a good card that you'll like here is we've got a success card, which is a earth card in the deck. And it's this beautiful pot of gold. So it tells me that this process we're in is not only cleaning us and purifying us to bring us back to our heart spaces and the essence of our true selves as love, as wisdom, as unity, but it's also bringing this energy in of manifesting a new reality on earth that within every part of our beings, within our souls, within our DNA, within our capacity to create on earth, we have everything we need. It is all within us and it's all tangible and palpable on earth. So look for the gifts that you have as who you are. If you're an artist, you have many gifts. We are all artists in one way or the other. What are your superpowers? Go to those right now to help you navigate that you have a foundation of abundance, that you have a foundation of plenty, no matter the appearances of things. And in our community, we have that. We grow stronger together. So know that's our foundation as we come into the bigger picture here. All right, in the bigger picture, we have a warning card. No doubt about that. It's from the mental suit, meaning what are you doing with your mind right now? Are you critical about what's going on? Are you critical about your life through the fear that's coming up? This is the energy of jagged edges. In our culture, there are a lot of things going on that are not harmonious, and it will trigger at the deepest levels of what needs to be healed any places that are critical. If you look at this image, it looks like lightning coming out of this person, and it has to do with mental attitude. So, and it has to do with anger. It has to do with lightning coming in to change how you perceive and how you see and how you choose from the higher mind. So it's time for us to let go of the criticism and the things that poke us, that trigger us. It's time for us to get hold of our minds, to lose the criticism, and to move into a higher perspective of how we choose from our mental capacity. One of the things that's going to help us in the bigger picture, return us to greater harmony, is Yemaya, the Caribbean goddess of the waters. She's the goddess of moving into our intuitive selves, of going into the subconscious. If you look at her image, this great goddess mother is in prayer and she's turned inward, and she is the oracle. She can see the way. So for you to have greater clarity, for you to see what to do next, how to navigate, how to trust your soul's guidance, it's really imperative that you and I and all of us move to meditative places, that we are stepping away from the crowd so we can take some time to reflect, so we can take some time to go inward to a place of peace, to find that within ourselves. The kingdom of heaven is within us, I'm telling y'all, whatever you want to call that, that place of incredible wisdom is what this bigger picture is about, that we take our spaces and then we can come out together and know which way to go. So trust your inner guidance, take time for it. It's really important. Another piece that is really important for us to remember about the big picture, what's going on here. This card is called the Child of Design. It's the child of Earth. And it is reflective of a child who has the acorn in its hand and the beautiful wise oak tree behind it. And that child is telling me that all of us, in our innocence and our purity and our childlike natures, we have the keys and we have the design to grow into this wise oak tree, that everything that's going on in our world by the soul's design is perfect, as crazy as it looks. It's time for you to ground down to Mother Earth, to use your inner reflection, and to look at how perfect everything is that's changing. The flow offers us incredible difference of ways of being, as we will just be still and be present to the patterns that are unfolding. We can release the ones that no longer serve us to allow us to grow even larger and more aware and wise. So there is a divine pattern to this whole experience. One of the things I tell my clients and I tell myself is you really can't mess this up. Yes, it looks pretty bad, but on a soul level, you can't mess up anything. You can learn to choose more wisely every breath. All right, what are our challenges right now? Well, funny, boundaries card. Literally, our challenges are to have good boundaries, to be safe in our homes, to be safe in our bodies, to be safe in our energy fields on Earth. And it takes some work to do so. So the lessons are clean your own minds, clean your own bodies, clean your field and take care of yourself. Follow the directives that are important for you to have a clean and clear space energetically and physically. You need it emotionally and mentally. Do your work. That card is beckoning you to be very clear about how to take care of yourself psychically. You know, we empaths, which I'm sure most of you or all of you here are empathic beings. It is really important that we take care of ourselves. When we notice negative energy and fear coming into our field, we need to have a mantra. We need to clean and clear ourselves energetically so that we can return back to our heart spaces. This is the only way we can make it through this portal to awakening, is to be 100% responsible for our actions and how we respond to the world. That's the foundation of the word responsibility, to be able to respond instead of react. So I encourage all of you to take care of your space, be very clear energetically, and you'll know how to act as you learn that at a whole new level. Another card that's up in the big picture, actually in the lessons here are opportunities for learning and growth, is Aditi. And she just showed up the other day in a reading I had. She's the great cosmic void. She is all potential and possibility. And right now, when it seems dim or dark or frightening on an earthly level, there is actually this great lesson to turn your attention to the chaos through stillness and to focus your energy on what you desire, to focus your attention on how great can this healing be? How amazing can my life be through this transformation? And it's really difficult when we're afraid and in our instinctual human selves. So with the boundaries, keep yourself clean and clear energetically. Pray, turn your attention to the light, turn your attention to your heart space, to generosity, compassion, love, and see how you can feed the cosmic void. She is just like a fertile field in springtime, ready for the seeds so that you can have a great crop of things to nourish yourself, to experience, to take in. So what are you feeding yourself every day? What seeds do you plant in your mind and into the akasha, into the ethers? Your lesson right now is to pay attention and to focus seeds of nothing but love and wisdom, so that what you grow as you come through this is more beautiful than anything you've ever imagined. This is actually a very wonderful card to have here, to know that humanity itself is in the great void of creation to come to an incredibly new way of being. I like to call it, this is the birth process for going from human, Homo sapien, to Homo luminous, that we have the opportunity to be more enlightened as a species and not just individually. The other place of learning here is the Ace of Fire. And she is a card about illumination. So that goes with everything else I'm talking about here. And she originally, her name is Dakini Kundalini Mama. I love that name. She was brought into this deck specifically for this card after I had channeled her in close to the time we created the deck. And she really is about transmuting and transforming the difficulties, the rage, the anger, the things that separate us from love and enlightenment. She is all about clearing that. She is about moving to a higher perspective in your mind and in your soul and truly being enlightened. And again, she's another ace, which we've got 2 so far and half the reading, which is a pretty good sign. She tells me that even though this is in the lessons area, we have so much help from the heavenly realms. We have so much help from the higher dimensions and our angels, our guides, all our allies and our ancestors. So as you work on transmuting fear and working with the medicine of fire to clean away and to wake up, to come into the light, call upon your helpers. Know that they're there taking you through the school of life to a new and expanded version of yourself. This is graduation time, folks. And this card is a really good sign that we are moving through challenges, no matter what difficulties we've had. All right, what action do we need to take? This is all great and fine for the soul level, but what do we do on a human level? How do we handle it mentally, emotionally, spiritually, and physically? And emotionally, one of the things we need to do is to move out of any ways we deny our own selves. Where have you buried your heart? Where have you fallen asleep emotionally? What have you tucked away that you don't want to deal with because you're afraid of it? This is a really important card so that you can come back to that place of the heart that I mentioned earlier that is truly about ecstasy. The action right now is to attend to your emotional being, to love him or her, to embrace yourself, to notice where you're emotionally out of whack. If you're angry, if you're sad, if you're grieving, it's time for you to let the tears flow. This card is of denial, is about stagnation. It's about falling asleep and really not knowing how to move forward. So embrace yourself, be compassionate, find the ways that you can do your emotional work that allows you to free yourself, that allows you to be back in flow, that allows you to know that all is okay. Really important piece. Now, mentally, it's really important for you to focus. We've already mentioned that in the reading, to really focus on the seeds of what you are bringing in new. The seeds of gratitude to the seeds of desire from the soul heart to be well, to be safe, to have a new and expanded version of yourself, to visualize that for humanity, to have clarity of mind. So if you feel unclear, go back to the meditation. Focus on a one-word mantra. Focus on a word that lifts you up. What inspires you to lift your mental self and your attitudes upwards to a more beautiful and clear space? What if you focused on that this brings harmony to this world? What does that look like and feel like to you? So this is a really important time to get clear with your mental attitude about healing and about transformation. The other card in our action is, again, another emotional suit card, another water card. And we've got a lot of that in here. She's about purity. And that absolutely has been one of the things that I've been getting over and over and over, is that within each one of us is this very pure hearted being. Whether your mind and your attitude and your age and your life say so, within you and within your very heart, there is a pureness that wants to be expressed. Purity of giving, purity of kindness, purity of compassion, purity to be generous to another person when they have it not so well, to reach out and to love and to do it unconditionally without exception. It's time for us to purify our hearts in this whole situation of other and of fear of a virus or something that can take us down financially, emotionally, and our health. It's up for us to purify that from every part of our beings so that we can actually heal. We need to clean up our act emotionally and mentally. So let this card be a beacon for you to practice what it's like to sit in compassion, to practice what it's like to sit with your hand on your heart, and to honor that you love yourself and that you can love others more greatly as you sit with this energy. This is medicine for us right now. We have a lot of people on the front lines who are doing exactly this. They're sacrificing so much by giving because they have a calling to care for others. Let us do the same regardless where we are in the world, whether we're sitting in our house alone or if we're on the front lines or somewhere in between. Let us see what it's like to focus that compassion toward another with healthy boundaries and yet an illuminated perspective. All right, where's this leading us? What is going to be the outcome as we navigate to a new way of being? And I have to tell you, I got 3 goddesses in the outcome. So as difficult as things have been, we are really being tempered right now on a soul level and on our human level, at the state levels, at our family levels, at the country levels, and at a worldwide point of view of how to come together, how to purify our hearts, how to be a one people instead of many, many separate beings, many separate countries. How do we honor ourselves? If we will honor what has been said today, if we will do our work individually and then collectively, what it shows me is that the world is ours, that there is a reset back into Mother Earth, back into life on Earth, to a healthier environment, to a healthier people upon the planet, to great union. This card is that it tells me that this process is bringing us together, that we are all kin. We are all together in this. We are all belonging to one experience, to one heart. And this is also a card of abundance, that the world is ours. So as we take responsibility, as we lift ourselves up and we clean ourselves on all levels and we meet each other in our heart spaces, imagine that this harmony of the planet comes to a whole new reality. As I'm talking about this, I think that Mother Gaia is telling us this is the new earth that we're moving into. We're moving into a higher vibration. We're moving into a place where the rainbow light, the rainbow tribe people are all connected, and that we have that place of abundance and beauty, and that everything is given to us. The other card that comes up is Isis. And I've been talking to Mama Isis here lately. She's our great Syrian mother, planet Sirius, Egyptian mama, who's of birth, death, and fertility. So she's here to usher us into the new life. She's here to usher us into a sacred life where we are the ones who are becoming these divine beings who are in a ceremony of life. So very practical thing that you might do is get some frankincense out and some oils that connect you to this ancient, sacred, divine, mystical wisdom. For you're being anointed and initiated into a new way of life right now. And it's important that you honor yourself in that you're being brought to a higher awareness, to a greater perspective of eternal creation, and that you are in a very special time that will bring greater light and illumination to how you are a creator. Another piece that I want you to see here is Shakti. She's a great Hindu goddess of life force, energy. And she took the place in our deck for what was originally the Lover's card. And instead, it is the ecstatic union card. So again, on a soul level, this is about merging our human selves, our outer expression, with our inner true divine beings. This is a time of initiation into awakening your Kundalini, into clearing away all the illusions and limitations that we have in our human personalities. These three cards of these divine mothers are telling us we're going to have greater life force, greater golden experience of being a human at this time on the planet, of being a soul who's awake. So I encourage you to sit with this guidance and to go into your own spaces to meditate, to call in the goddesses, to call in your guides. You have a ton of helpers right now, a lot of beings who want to support you in waking up, to support you in calming the instinctual human set that we have in our physical, our emotional, and our mental beings. So go lay on the earth, go sit with the tree, breathe in the flowers, plant some seeds, and focus on the beauty, focus on a reset, that humanity is going to be able to come out of this reborn again, that we're in a birth canal, and that we have lots of helpers and frequencies that are literally clearing us and supporting us in being in a new and expanded version of yourselves. I hope this helps you. I'm going to look through and see if anyone has any questions right now. If you do, let me know. A lot of love coming from you to me. Thank you very much. You are absolutely all beautiful. I appreciate you. Does anyone have a question they want to put into the mix here? If we're going to say that we have been given a great deal of guidance and love here. I invite you to ask these goddesses into your lives, into your hearts, and to know that the divine feminine is being rebirthed in every one of us, whether we are male or female. That this is a reckoning right now with old patriarchal ways that have been dominating our minds, our emotions, and our bodies for thousands of years. It's a lifting up into the divine masculine and the divine feminine, to come to the power of compassion, to come to the power of the heart, to come to the power of your intuitive self who lives in present time, who steps out of the linear yesterday and tomorrow mindset, but can be 100% present and be present to meet the needs of yourself and those around you by being 100% present. I enfold you in love, and I thank you for showing up. And may you keep being blessed as you show up in every part of your life. Aho.